Hey everyone, Rarity here, time for another blind commentary. And there's no new RWBY today, and the World of Remnant videos still aren't on Rooster Teeth's channel, for whatever reason, not sure why that is, but because they aren't, gonna hold off on those at least a little longer, though I do promise I will get to the World of Remnant videos before I do Chapter 12 of Volume 4, even if they're not on the channel yet. Just because I want to see them, I want to watch that, and get that information before the end of the volume. But because those aren't on the channel yet, and because there's no episode to do, I figured I'd do another RWBY related video this week, and there were a lot that I considered. I considered doing the fan-made trailers that people keep recommending, and I considered doing Luffy's RWBY Shenanigans video, but what I settled on ultimately was the Channel Frederator video, 107 RWBY Facts. I've done a number of these 107 Facts videos in the past, and they're really pretty enjoyable, I think. It's a lot of interesting information presented in a pretty appealing way, and I'm hoping I'll learn something. Because I have watched RWBY like a dozen times now, but there is a lot of behind-the-scenes information that I'm probably lacking, and I'd love to learn whatever that stuff is. Because, I mean, I am pretty new to this fandom, all things considered. I've only been into it for, like, months now. Not even a full year. Pretty much half a year, I would say. Hopefully this is a valuable learning experience. Anyway, let's get started and find out. Okay. And here we
RWBY
go.
fans have been glued to their screens since the first episode was uploaded to YouTube on July 18, 2013.
Well,
3
except
years
for
later,
those of
fans
us
still
who are
watching to see
late
what
to the
happens
party.
RWBY, Weiss, Blake, and Yang as they take us on adventures through Remnant. Hi, I'm Adrian with Channel Frederator, and we've got the info on your favorite huntsmen, huntresses, and evil baddies. So grab
Cinder.
some dust and ready your weapons, because we've got 107 facts about RWBY.
Cool.
Let's get started. Fact number 1. RWBY's an American anime created by Monty Ohm, who was director of animation for Rooster Teeth Productions. The first episode was released in 2013. Number 2. When Monty Ohm was a young artist, he lamented that he could only create stills or posters, and that his drawings couldn't move. Luckily, around 1992, Monty started animating on his Macintosh computer one frame at a time. He described the experience as like animating on PowerPoint, but these PowerPoint-like animation efforts were not in vain, as they would eventually lead him to create Haloid and the Dead Fantasy series, catching the attention of Rooster Teeth. Number 3. Even animators play with their food. Ohm created the layout of the world of Remnant by squirting ketchup onto a napkin and pushing it around a bit. He did this at an IHOP, and those ketchup silhouettes formed the continents of RWBY. Number 4. To make the map
Pretty
story,
crazy.
Ohm later took a picture of his ketchup map, blew it up, and layered pictures of food on the continents. Mountains were composed of bacon, desserts were made up of ice cream and mashed
Didn't know
potatoes,
this part of it.
oceans were made of creamy liquids, and forests were made up of garlic bread. Now I'm hungry. Number 5. Monty and the RWBY crew actually held a lot of meetings at IHOP, where they'd share ideas for the characters
Wonderful.
and where the story was going, presumably over a plate of hot pancakes.
Who doesn't
Number
like
6.
IHOP?
The show follows the adventures of Team RWBY, a group of 4 young huntresses named Ruby Rose, Weiss Schnee, Blake Belladonna, and Yang Xiaolong. Number 7. When brainstorming the show's concept, Monty woke up in the middle of the night to write down the letters RWBY and went back to sleep. For this show, the color scheme was really important to him in terms of artistic direction. Number 8. To create a hook for the series, Ohm color-coded the main characters and made the first letter of their names correspond with the design color. Ruby for red, Weiss for white, Blake for black, and Yang for yellow. So the letters in the title stand for both their color and their name. Number 9. The members of Team RWBY are also inspired by classic fairy tale characters. RWBY is based on Little Red Riding Hood, as seen in RWBY's cloak. Weiss Schnee is a reference to Snow White. Her name also means white snow in German. Blake Belladonna is inspired by Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and Yang Xiaolong and her luscious blonde hair are based on Goldilocks. Number 10. As an allusion to her namesake, Blake is first introduced reading a book, and the creators try to surround her with other Belle-related items, like the candelabra she owns, which is a reference to Lumiere. Number 11. When creating the characters, Ohm first came up with their designs. Then, based on their designs, Ohm, Luna, and Shawcross figured out their backstories. Questions they asked were, why is this character dressed in formal and fancy clothing? Is she royalty or an heiress? Why does this character have cat ears? You know, normal questions. Number 12. When it came to thinking of character names and teams, Ohm came up with a set of rules. First, characters' names must either be a color, sound like a color, mean a color, or remind you of a color. And to create a team name, the first letter of the names must fit into a 4-letter acronym spelling out a team name that also follows the color scheme. Number 13. To develop the pitch, Ohm created designs and animated action sequences into a trailer. At the same time, writers Miles Luna and Kerry Shawcross put together a script for the pilot episode. The three then showed this to Matt Hullum and Bernie Burns, founders of Rooster Teeth, and it got approved. Number 14. Development for RWBY actually started while the Rooster Teeth team was working on Red vs. Blue Season 10. RWBY served as another creative outlet for the team while they were working on visual effects for Red vs. Blue. Number 15. When making RWBY, Ohm was inspired by anime and video games such as Evangelion, Ghost in the Shell, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, and Final Fantasy. In
I can see it all.
Gurren Lagann was Ohm's favorite anime series, and its themes of not giving up is something Ohm worked into RWBY. Number 16. When designing the character's clothing, Ohm kept cosplayers in mind. He made sure each of the clothing pieces actually exist in reality so cosplayers could find them and wear it. Ohm also made sure all the clothes had pockets for convenience. And don't let gender limit you. There's a genderbender cosplay of RWBY named Garnet. Number 17. Ohm was a huge fan of kung fu movies and was also an avid dancer. For fight and action scenes, he often pulled inspiration from martial artists Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan, and Jet Li. Ohm enjoyed combining realistic martial arts moves with his character's superpowers, making the moves even more explosive. Number 18. The greatest motivation for Ohm to create RWBY was a need to share those type of good and positive stories that motivated him as a kid. Underlying themes he wanted to explore were staying optimistic, never giving up, and his adventures of meeting new people along the way. Receiving feedback from his fans only further strengthened his need to continue making RWBY. Number 19. Right before the first trailer was about to go public, fellow Rooster Teeth employee Brandon Farmahini expressed his concern around the title's spelling. He thought people would be confused by it. While he's not
Some
wrong,
people are.
it's still a creative title that many fans are glad for. Number 20.
Yeah,
Ruby,
I like
Weiss,
it.
Blake, and Yang are all students at one of Remnant's most prestigious schools for aspiring huntsmen, Beacon Academy, located in Vale. Number 21. For instantaneous communication across the world of Remnant, there's the Cross-Continental Transmit System, or CCT, which is essentially Remnant's version of the internet. Number 22. The world of Remnant is made up of 4 kingdoms: Vale, Atlas, Mistral, and Vacuo. Number 23. In terms of hierarchy in Remnant, huntsmen and huntresses are a bit more important and more respected than the police. Sorta like how Batman's more powerful than Gotham's police. Number 24. In Remnant folklore, people believe that Grimm were animals possessed by evil spirits. Grimm don't need to feed to survive, they simply choose to,
but
and the only thing Grimm feed on are
realize that wasn't
Kinda
true if I
reminds me
recall.
of the Titans from Attack on Titan.
Definitely a parallel
Number
there.
25. The color scheme of Grimm are red, white, black, and partially yellow, the same as Team RWBY. Grimm are also attracted to negative emotions: anger, hatred, fear, and despair. Number 26. Grimm disintegrate almost instantly after being killed. This is interesting because it means that humans wouldn't be able to study their internal biology. Number 27. Dust can be found in 4 natural forms: fire, earth, water, and air. These forms can be combined in different ways to produce all new effects. Dust can be manipulated into gun ammunition, woven into clothing, and even fused with bodies.
Just
Number
repeating
28.
World of Remnant
Ohm
stuff.
likened dust to ground up materia from Final Fantasy. Different colors of dust have different powers and different levels of intensity. Number 29. The
makes
Vital
sense.
Festival is celebrated every 2 years and takes place in different kingdoms. Originally, one of the plans for the Vital Festival was to include just one exchange student
Not quite
from
saying
each
it there,
school.
all right.
Number 30. Each kingdom has a CCT tower. The one in Vale makes up the base of the main tower of Beacon Academy. If any of the 4 towers are disconnected, the entire CCT would no longer work. As the headmaster of Beacon Academy said, if the people of Remnant are to speak, then they shall do so together, or not at all. Number 31. There are no phones in Remnant. Instead, they have small holographic tablets called scrolls. There are, however, credit cards. I wonder if they use chip readers. Number 32. Huntsmen are the protectors of Remnant who stave off the evil monsters that inhabit the land, aka Grimm. Huntsmen are able to unlock their auras, which are a manifestation of the hunter's soul, and can be used for a variety of different things, such as a protective force field around their bodies. Each character's aura matches their color. For example, Ruby Rose's aura is red. Number 33. As a hunter receives damage, their aura reserve is depleted until there's none left. In this way, the aura is kind of similar to video game health bars. Number 34. Every hunter in RWBY has a semblance, which is a power that is unique to that character. Some semblances are minor and can be used frequently, while others are powerful and need time to charge. Semblances are powered by one's aura. In other words, the semblance is a tangible display of a person's soul. Number 35.
I don't know if we
a
ever found
character's
out what
semblance can be similar
Roman
to their
semblance
parents
is.
or other family members. For example, Weiss's semblance of summoning glyphs is hereditary, and her family members share the same rare semblance. Number 36. 4 trailers were put out for the series. There was the red trailer, the white trailer, the yellow trailer, and the black trailer. one for each member of Team RWBY. Number 37. RWBY's trailers are actually canon. If you pay close attention, you can actually learn a little bit more about the characters' backstories. Number 38. RWBY is animated using 3D animation, which means the animators create a 3D model of the sets and characters and then manipulate them to create the illusion of depth and motion, instead of using two-dimensional drawings like traditional animation. Number 39. RWBY's animators also rely quite heavily on motion capture technology. An actor will wear a motion capture suit covered in white dots, and the mocap camera will track and record their movements to be used as a basis for the final animation. Having actual humans act out the motions gives each character more individuality and emotion. Don't you love technology? Number 40. For the first 3 volumes, animators used the animation program Poser. To help create the detailed fight and dance sequences, Ohm found it advantageous to use motion capture as a basis, and then combine it with hand animation. Future volumes of RWBY switched over to Autodesk Maya, for those of you wondering why it looks a little different. Number 41. The members of Team Juniper are also a gender swap of classic characters. Jean Arc is a male version of Joan of Arc. Nora Valkyrie is inspired by the Norse god Thor. Pyrrha Nikos is based on Achilles from Homer's The Iliad. Ren is inspired by Chinese warrior Hua Mulan. Number 42. Ironically, in November 2013, Monty Ohm discovered that he was actually allergic to juniper berries. Number 43. Nora Valkyrie, a member of Team Juniper, has the power to absorb electricity. Nora's weapon is a giant sledgehammer. This was inspired by the Mexican tradition to hit explosives with hammers. Number 44. Rooster Teeth actually reads your comments in their episodes. They take it all into consideration when making the next season of RWBY. Yeah, next season, not next episode, since creating the entire series takes months and is done way in advance. Number 45.
Makes sense.
YouTube comment that haunts writers Luna and Shawcross said, "I thought this show was called RWBY, not Juniper." This was in response to a 4-week run of Jean-centric episodes. Originally, the writers didn't want the show to be just about RWBY, but I guess fans hated it, and Luna and Shawcross felt really bad about it. Number 46. If Luna and Shawcross could go back and change something about Volume 1 of RWBY, it would be getting rid of the background shadow characters. Using the silhouettes was a strategy to stay on schedule, since they didn't have enough time to generate all different background character designs. This style was also inspired by anime series like Soul Eater, but they did learn that this strategy doesn't transfer as well to 3D anime series trying to look like 2D anime series. Number 47.
Yeah, the shadow people definitely stand out.
They usually hang out in one of their apartments. One of them sits down with a laptop, and the other walks around with a sword acting out the story. Can I be the sword guy? Number 48.
Don't think it looks quite like
Luna
that.
and Shawcross laugh during their writing process, it almost always goes into the script. Typically, they write 2 episodes a week. The morning after drafting a script, if the content still makes them laugh, they keep it. If it doesn't, they revise it. Number 49. Before even releasing the first volume, Ohm, Luna, and Shawcross had about 7 to 10 volumes worth of material about where they wanted to go with the story.
That's awesome.
As the years go on, they also want the characters and story to mature along with their audience. Number 50. In terms of their approach to writing strong characters, Luna and Shawcross didn't go in with the agenda of, these girls need to be empowering. Instead, they just wanted the characters to be kids who were interesting, strong, and really cool.
Definitely the right
Shawcross
approach.
Also didn't want to follow the anime trope of over-sexualizing female characters. If a character is sexy, they're just sexy. They're
still
not
yang,
portrayed
yeah.
through a gross and skeevy perspective. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 51. For some of the fights, Luna and Shawcross drew out rough blueprints of where the characters should move in the landscape. Ohm then chose which he liked and went from there. In other instances, Luna and Shawcross just told Ohm where the fight took place and how it started and who won, and Ohm made the rest up. Number 52. Animation for the epic food fight scene took about 4 months on and off to complete. This was on the longer side because the choreography wasn't as clear. Ohm also wanted to make the foods used during the fight match the characters. Number 53. The length of the animation process for complex fight scenes depends on whether or not there's a clear plan. For example, the Nevermore and Deathstalker fight in Volume 1 took about half a month to create. Number 54. The easiest character for Luna to write is Jean. He describes Jean as a heightened version of his middle school self. For
character he
Shawcross,
plays,
the easiest
so
character to write for is RWBY because she's so goofy and silly. Number 55. Early on, the writers found Blake and Weiss to be the most difficult to write for and get in their headspace. Blake in particular was difficult because they wanted to make her seem reserved without being boring. Eventually, they added a sassy and sarcastic twist to her. Number 56.
Blake got better.
That there are characters that'll come out as part of the LGBTQ community as the characters mature and become interested in romance. Number 57. For most of the characters,
gotta
they
be
really
Yang.
wanted to cast, but with Lindsay Jones, they were completely surprised and blown away with her performance for RWBY. Number 58. Jones has lent her talents to many other Rooster Teeth productions, most notably to the role of Kimball in the Rooster Teeth series Red vs. Blue. She's also the head of the series Achievement Hunter and primarily edits their videos. Number 59. When Jones first started preparing to play RWBY, she made a big binder of notes and highlighted a lot of the elements in the script. The binder was similar to the one RWBY had in the beginning of Volume 2. Everyone at Rooster Teeth called Jones a big nerd for it. Aw, she's just organized. Number 60. Weiss is voiced by Kara Eberly, who also served as technical director for the Rooster Teeth podcast. Like Weiss, Eberly says she's trying to make jokes and puns, but they always end up bad. Number 61.
They played
Jones
off of that in one of the
like
episodes.
to think that during the break between the first and second semester, Volume 1 and Volume 2, Team RWBY had a sleepover and figured out different attacks and attack names. Number 62. To get into character for Weiss's more somber scenes,
where they came from.
faces a wall and keeps her gaze down towards the floor. Number 63. During recording sessions, the voice actors are often allowed to ad-lib lines. For example, there's a scene when RWBY slowly realizes that Blake is a cat faunus. She then says the line, "She does like tuna a lot."
That's a great line.
It was ad-libbed, and the crew liked it so much they decided to keep it in.
Always
Number
love that.
64. Ohm provided the voice for the character Ren, and Shawcross is the voice of Neptune. After Monty Ohm passed away, his brother Neith Ohm took over as Ren. Number 65. The mysterious narrator in the series premiere and the World of Remnant videos is voiced by none other than Jennifer Taylor, who's the voice of Cortana and Dr. Halsey in the Halo series. Number 66. Gray Haddock, the head of animation at Rooster Teeth, is the voice of Roman Torchwick. To get into character, Haddock will repeat some key lines like "Hello, Red." Number 67. Mercury Black was originally performed by J.J. Castillo, who was also in charge of Rooster Teeth Recap and served as editor of Achievement Hunter's Let's Build. Number 68. Before recording lines, Castillo would listen to old audio of Mercury from previous episodes. When Castillo left Rooster Teeth, Yuri Lowenthal took over for the role of Mercury. Number 69. When Gray Haddock and Monty Ohm approached J.J. Castillo about auditioning for the role of Mercury, they pitched him as a hipster douchebag. But he's cool, and we think you'd be perfect for it. Thanks, guys. Number 70.
Good way to put it.
Castillo actually suggested to Ohm that Mercury's last name be Black. It wasn't until Castillo saw it announced on Twitter that he found out Ohm went with his choice. Castillo felt incredibly honored. Number 71.
That's cool.
Yang is voiced by Barbara Dunkelman, who's also the director of social and community marketing at Rooster Teeth and program director of RTX. For the Beacon Ball scene, Dunkelman actually did the motion capture for Mercury's dance moves. Number 72.
That's awesome.
Sometimes while the animators are working on scenes with Yang, Dunkelman will say the lines along with Yang just to tease the animators. So now we know who the prankster of the group is. Number 73.
Yeah.
In a podcast interview after Volume 1 was released, the voice actors of Team RWBY joked about using a laser pointer to play with Blake. This ended up coming true in Volume 2. Number 74.
Yes, it did.
Blake is voiced by Aaron Zek, who also plays Dr. Emily Gray in Red vs. Blue. Number 75. Barbara and Aaron love the ship Bumblebee, the couple
doesn't?
of Yang and Blake. One of their favorite moments is when Yang asks Blake to share a dance with her at Beacon Ball. Number 76.
Yeah.
In one interview, the voice
One of the
actors
best
talked
moments
about
in
their
the show.
reactions if they were to meet their characters in real life. Luna would say to John,
They've all done the
"Just
cosplay."
Kiss her! Dunkelman would want to kiss Yang. Shawcross doesn't deem himself cool enough to talk to Neptune. Zek would probably talk to Blake about books. Eberly would definitely give Weiss dating advice and tell her to give Jean a chance. Joan said she'd probably want to pick up RWBY with her mouth and just shake her like a dog playing with a toy.
Aw.
Number 77. Sometimes Jones listens to the song Red Like Roses Part 2 before getting into the sound booth for inspiration, and maybe a single teardrop rolls down her face,
that's
but
a good way to do it.
she doesn't want everyone to know. Number 78. For the Japanese dubbed version of RWBY, you may recognize some of the voice actors. RWBY is voiced by Saori Hayami, who is Chiriko Tsuruko Surumi in Anohana, the flower we saw that day. Yoko Hikasa plays Weiss. Hikasa has also been in K-On! As Mio Akiyama.
Cool.
Portraying Blake is Yu Shimomura, who's voiced Princess Zelda in The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword and Annie Leonhardt in Attack on Titan. And Yang is voiced by Amiko Shimizu, who is Ryoko Matoi in Kill la
awesome.
Kill. Number
Awesome.
79. Cinder is older than most of the student characters, yet somehow manages to pass as a student. If you
she
want to look
looks
young
pretty
like
young.
Cinder, Ohm highly recommends moisturizing and using lots of sunblock. Number 80. Yang's obsession with her hair stems from her Goldilocks inspiration, which the creators thought would be fun and fitting for Goldilocks. Number 81. Yang's costume is based on a gender-swapped cosplay of Squall's design from Final Fantasy VIII. Number 82. Apparently, Ren maintains his shiny locks with samurai shampoo. In Volume 1, there's a reference to samurai shampoo when Team RWBY says Banzai, and they forget to angle their hips just like in the series. Number 83. Jessica Nigri, a popular cosplayer, YouTube personality, and a fan of Rooster Teeth since the age of 14, provides the voice for Cinder Fall, one of the villains of RWBY. One year, Monty Ohm approached Nigri at New York Comic Con and pulled her aside secretly to offer her a part in the show. Basically,
That's
what
awesome.
we all dream of happening when we go to Comic Con happens to Jessica Nigri probably all the time. Number 84. In Volume 2, the scene when Sun and Mercury eat at a noodle stand called A Simple Walk is a reference to Chris Damaris and Carrie Shawcross's show A Simple Walk to Mordor. Number 85. The manga version RWBY began production in November of 2015. It's written and drawn by mangaka Shiro Miwa, who's also done original character designs for Kiznaiver. Number 86. Ohm hinted to the fans that the characters' eyes are very important to the story, so keep an eye out for that. Number 87. Ozpin is performed by Shannon McCormick. When developing Ozpin's voice, McCormick drew inspiration from Tywin Lannister of Game of Thrones. Number 88. Dr. Bartholomew Oobleck is a reference to the character in the Dr. Seuss book, Bartholomew and the Oobleck. In the book, Oobleck is a light green substance that matches Dr. Oobleck's hair. Number 89. Ohm was particularly fond of seeing his characters transformed into tangible 3D figures. While working on RWBY Volume 3, he even hoped that someday he could include stop motion and miniatures into the series. Number 90. During the Vital Festival, Jean calls out for his teammates to make certain formations. These names were a reference to the fan-made ship names like Checkmate. Number 91. In a hall at Rooster Teeth, there's a wall dedicated to RWBY fan art. Everly has an entire wall made of corkboard where she'll pin fan art of Weiss that fans sent to her. Number 92.
Fan art.
Sometimes at conferences, Jones will walk around and poke cosplayers dressed as RWBY and say hi to them in the voice of RWBY. Number 93.
That's gotta be awesome.
Favorite gifts of RWBY that he's seen
Bet people
is one
love
on
that.
Tumblr where Mercury dims the lights and it says, "Pants off now." No comment on that one. Number 94. After the RWBY episodes aired online to the general public, Castillo watched the episodes another 5 times and went home and tried to stylize his hair like Mercury. Number 95. Castillo would love to cosplay as Mercury and is actually working with the costume designer to put together a sweatshirt matching Mercury's costume. Number 96. RWBY Grim Eclipse is a 4-player online game available on Steam. The game is influenced by
consoles,
Dynasty Warriors and Left 4 Dead. Players can play as Team RWBY, and the game features an exclusive storyline with new locations, antagonists, and villains. Number 97.
looks pretty cool. I mean, I've heard mixed things about it.
Was originally a fan-made tribute by 19-year-old Jordan
I
Scott.
heard this too.
Rooster
That's
Teeth
awesome.
loved it so much that they brought Scott on board to create an actual game. Number 98. The guitar music used for when Jean asks White to the Beacon Ball was played by Nico Audi Roland, who does the music for Red vs. Blue. Number 99. The music in RWBY is created by Jeff Williams and his daughter Casey Lee Williams. Previously, Jeff Williams worked with the band Trocadero, who also composed for Red vs. Blue. The RWBY soundtrack is available on iTunes and Amazon. Or you can just purchase the CDs. Number 100. Later, Williams worked with Nico Audi Roland again on another Rooster Teeth show, Strangerhood. And when the RWBY team was looking for a composer, they knew Williams would be perfect for the job. Number 101. The Williams family is located in Boston and records the songs for RWBY there. When Ohm would return to his hometown in Providence, Rhode Island for the holidays, he would go out for coffee with the Williams and show them all these elaborate drawings and tell them about the storylines. Number 102. To warm up her voice before recording songs, Casey Williams will belt out rock songs in the shower for an hour. Sway's voice actor for the songs is actually Jeff and Casey Williams' adorable dog, Stan. Number 103. Casey Williams likes RWBY's costume and weapon the best. She also likes Blake's fondest character trait the most. And overall, she loves Sun because he's so awesome. Jeff Williams' favorite characters are Nora and Yang because they're so fun and enthusiastic. Number 104. RWBY won Streamy Awards for Best Animated Series and Best Original Score. Volume 1 was also awarded the 2014 International Academy of Web Television Award for Best Animated Series. Number 105. During the end credits of the show in Volume 2, the featured background art is actually fan art.
Yeah,
this was
that was
then
awesome.
switched to professional concept art from the show in
Kinda
Volume
missed
3.
the fan
Number
art.
106. Creator Monty Ohm passed away on February 1st, 2015, after a severe allergic reaction left him in a coma for 10 days before finally passing. He was only 33 years old. Number 107. Monty's advice to aspiring animators? Just do it. Almost every time he was asked, he replied, "Start now. Wonderful wisdom to leave behind." Thanks for watching 107 Facts about RWBY. Which one of the characters is your favorite? Comment down below and let us know. We have new videos dropping every week, so let us know which animated film or TV show you want us to cover next. And if you like getting more from your cartoons, subscribe to Channel Frederator, because remember, Frederator loves you.
Okay. So that was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was about what I would expect from seeing the previous 107 fact videos that I've done. Good stuff. Definitely had fun watching it. I mean, it wasn't like anything too exciting, but it was good information. Some of it I already knew. A lot of it was just stuff you'd know from watching the show or watching The World of the Remnants, and other stuff I knew just from people telling it to me in the comments. But a lot of it was new to me. There was stuff, especially behind-the-scenes information specifics that I didn't quite know about, and some of it didn't really mean a whole lot to me, but it was cool to see like the background footage and images of the voice actresses and the people behind the show, especially the cosplay stuff. That was cool. Love seeing cosplay of the characters. That's just neat. And yeah, there weren't really a whole lot of mistakes from what I could tell. I mean, I've seen previous ones of these where they did make quite a few mistakes, but only thing that really stands out to me is naming Checkmate as one of the ship names used in the Juniper fight. That's clearly wrong, but I can see why that would be made, that mistake, because there are 2 fights where the ship names came up in, and yeah. And other than that, the only thing that really stuck out to me is the way he pronounced Vital. It was weird, but other than that, good job. This was entertaining, this was fun, and it was good information, and yeah, even if it wasn't all new, it was just good to hear it all again, and hear it in this compact form, and yeah, good video. Hope you liked the commentary, let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.